Salvete omnes, this is I'm Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek, and welcome back to another episode of Mega Man 5. The final episode of Mega Man 5, that is, and that's kind of an interesting graphical glitch there. The background's discolored. Gray instead of green. Screen updating. In any case, in the last episode, we had ourselves some Robot Master rematches. A good portion of which kind of consisted of finding out for ourselves, firsthand, just how bad Mega Man 5's special weapons really are. Seriously, several of those we could tell weren't even useful for using against the bosses whose weaknesses they were. That's kind of sad. But in any case, we're now in Wily Stage 4, and it immediately throws one of these annoying things at us. Use that to refill Beat, because Beat is actually Wily's weakness in this game. I don't know if he has a secondary weakness if he didn't get all the Mega Man V letters, but I might be using it and I might not. I haven't decided for sure yet. But there's really not much to this stage. Just a couple of these things. That cannon we saw over there. Respawning enemies. And we're already at the boss gate. Yeah, there, like I said, is not much to that stage. Also, I forgot to mention it in the first 3 stages, but I really like the music in these stages too. Once again, it's a good thing because you're listening to it for 4 stages straight, but man, Mega Man 5 really did a good job with the Fortress stage music. Or at least the composer did. I believe her name is Mari Yamaguchi. In any case, please welcome Wily Machine number 5 to center stage. It basically has 3 attacks. It can suck, like that. It can shoot missiles like that, and as you saw earlier, and there, it can shoot bouncy balls like that, which can bounce at one of 2 possible speeds. Now, you want it to suck, because if it sucks, then it's easier to hit. Yes, Wily Machine 5 sucks a lot. The fun is too easy. But of course, there's a second phase, with its own music. And I'm not going to use Beat right now. We can do this with the Buster, can't we? Maybe? I have 8 E-Tanks and an M-Tank if I need him, so there is that, and I hate it when he appears right above you like that, because it is darn near impossible to dodge. Actually, I wonder if the thing to do would be to stand in the middle, that way you can dodge to either side if you need to. Also, I really like the music during this boss battle. It's pretty long for an NES song, and wow, I am going to need to use an E-Tank here. Because Dr. Wily is not being very cooperative right now. And it's pretty good, as I was saying. Problem is, if you're using charge shots, then one channel of the music will constantly be taken up by the charge sound effect, which is kind of annoying to have to listen to this whole time. So, honestly, I would highly recommend just listening to the music on your own time after this if you're interested. There's a reason why so many Mega Man fan games have the charge sound effect fade out after you get up to maximum charge. Okay, there, now he's actually appearing where I can reach him. That's the nice thing about Beat, is he'll home in on Wily, so you don't have to worry about him coming low enough so you can actually hit him. And yeah, this battle is fairly similar to the one at the end of Mega Man 4. Wily does the appearing-disappearing saucer thing way too much. I think Capcom has run out of ideas. Or something. But yeah. Yeah, we can totally do this with the Buster. Who needs Beat? He's cute, he's useful, but he's not really necessary. Whoa. 3 more units of HP. 1 charge shot. Come on. That is not an area where I can hit you, Wily. There, that is. Bye-bye, Wily. And I only needed 1 E-Tank on that. That battle is actually a lot easier than I remember it being. There aren't a whole lot of final boss battles in Mega Man where I only have to use 1 E-Tank. Or even 0, but this wasn't one of those. But so maybe Mega Man chases Dr. Wily down, and yes, grovel at our feet. And let's rescue Dr. Light. But suddenly, panic! And stuff blowing up, and the ceiling falls down. That's not good. Fortunately, Mega Man has super manly strength. But what's this? It's the real Proto Man come to the rescue. You can see him in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen there. Naturally, Dr. Wily got away in his saucer again. So, we haven't gotten rid of him for good. We have merely gotten rid of him until whenever Mega Man 6 starts. And now cast of characters of sorts. Hello there, Gravity Man. Yukiko Mori? So does she spend a lot of time alone and withdrawn? We have Wave Man. I think DWN stands for Dr. Wily number, but I'm not sure on that. Stone Man. Also, why did they need a separate person to design every Robot Master? Or is it true that actually, aside from the first 1, 2, or maybe 3 games, all of the Robot Masters in these games were actually designed as part of contests in Japan? Because I think Mega Man 6 was the only one where some of them were definitely designed as part of a contest, and the only one where people from the rest of the world got to enter. In any case, Charge Man, you suck. And your weakness sucks even more. Napalm Man, who has easily exploitable AI. Crystal Man, who is kind of harder than one would expect, and he throws way too many projectiles. And insert the cast of Capcom, i.e. lots of Japanese people that I've never heard of. Whom I've never heard of, whatever. So, that was Mega Man 5, in any case. It's not my favorite game in the series, but it's certainly not my least favorite either. Very solid entry. I think I would say it's a bit on the easy side for the series, especially if you're willing to use charge shots. Maybe not so much special weapons, because the special weapons in this game suck. But, yeah, it's definitely worth playing if you like Mega Man games, and even if you don't, if you want to get into it, you could do worse than Mega Man 5. People say that you had to play Mega Man 2 on the easier difficulty setting to start off with, but I think that's still probably harder than this game. Since you can't charge, you can't slide. True, you can Metal Blade through a lot of things, but that's assuming you can beat Metal Man stage first. And now we get another list of credits. What exactly is the difference between the first list of people and the second one? Is the second one just less important people who don't get to have their names on the screen as long? Yeah, there we go. Sound composer Mari. They only give a first name, but... And naturally presented by Capcom, and this time we have Beat spelling out the name. And this is the part of the game where you can't really do anything. Press A, B, start, select, up, down, left, right, whatever. We're just stuck at an end screen that will never end, basically. And with that, Mega Man 5 is done. This was pretty fun. This is one of the games in the series that I actually have played on a real NES. And I guess if I had to I do have a couple complaints about it. The main one being, they really should have given you a password for the second fortress. I mean, I've always thought they should have given you passwords for all of the fortress stages, but at the very least in a game with 2 of them, they ought to let you start from the second one. I mean, like I said at the end of Mega Man 4, or probably several times during Mega Man 4 in fact, that basically means you're playing through literally half the game with no save points. Which I know isn't much by NES standards, but still. The other thing is, well, the special weapons. Like I said several times before, most of them are pretty useless, and honestly worse than just using the Buster. Even on bosses whose weaknesses they are. Especially on bosses whose weaknesses they are. Charge Man and the Power Stone come to mind. Yeah, I know I don't use special weapons much, I mostly just stick to the Buster, but still, it's interesting having them if they're good and creative and actually useful. Mega Man 5s really aren't. I mean, I guess they could certainly be worse. They could be Guard Shell from Mega Man X6. But, whatever. Good game. And this is about all I have to say about it, I guess. I will be doing more Mega Man games in the future, as well as, well, more other games. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do next, but we'll find out when the time comes. So, without further ado, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.